Hey, what's up, Lightbolt Joe here. Today we are going to discuss Fear Street Part 1, 1994. This is based off of the R.L. Stine book series. R.L. Stine is notoriously known for the Goosebumps books, but he does have some adult horror books, this being one of them. Despite the fact that the main characters are in high school, but this is a pretty awesome trilogy in the sense of Netflix. Released one Friday, then the next Friday was part 2, and then part 3 was the Friday after that. So it's like watching a miniseries, but like you could tell it's a movie because it's so quick. It's an hour and 40-something minutes long, but it goes so fast. And like we open up with Maya Hawke working in a mall, which is fun because like we are introduced to her as Robin in Stranger Things working in a mall, but that was 1986. So then now it's now that we're at 1994 and she's in the mall, it's pretty entertaining. But like there's a killer on the loose and like she's murdered in the mall and other people are murdered in the mall, and then like things happen. So like the main character's name is Dina. Dina's brother's name is Josh. Dina's best friend is Kate. She's kind of hanging out with this guy Simon, and Dina's ex-girlfriend her name is Sam, and Sam is now dating a Peter in Sunnyside versus Shadyville, or Sunnyvale versus Shadyside, something like that. So it's very like Riverdale-ish kind of a thing, but very intense. It's a very intense movie. It's straight horror in various points, but it has like Goosebumps kind of music to it. So like it feels like an R.L. Stine kind of experience watching this. I love that it's centered around this kind of witch who was hung and tried in 1666 on the land prior to a camp being there, on the land prior to a whole town of Sunnyville and Shadyside. So part 2 is going to explore the camp. Part 3 is exploring 1666 when it actually starts. But like this first one, 1994, was so awesome. It kept very true to the tech at that point. It kept true at the alternative rock scene that was very intense at that moment. The fashion, the hair, makeup, the slang, like it was so immersive. I loved it. I absolutely loved part 1. I don't even want to talk about plot points. You have different killers from different time periods who have been possessed by this witch, and they're back to get this girl Sam's blood because Sam inadvertently bled on the witch's grave, and she's now seeing the witch. But the theory is that if they kill Sam, and that's another intense point, if they kill Sam then and stop her heart, then the witch will stop. So like they literally kill Sam in a grocery store. They feed her with pills and shove her head in a lobster tank, and then bring her back to life with 6 different EpiPens and some pseudo CPR. But like, bro, like the grocery store scene was insane. The mall scene was insane. The whole high school scenes were insane. The escaping murder in the middle of Main Street, all of it was so intense. I'm so happy to see this, and I'm so happy that it was trending for all of July. It should have come out in October. I'm going to be completely honest. It should have come out in October. But I'm 2 months late to the party, but it's been on my spooky list. Here we are. Fear Street Part 1, 1994. Absolutely wonderful. Another thing that I absolutely loved, I'm just going to go about things that I love. I'm gushing right now. I loved that the 5 kids stole an ambulance at the hospital because there's a massacre at the hospital. And they're driving around town in a hospital, in a hospital's ambulance, and no one says anything about it. That when they get injured, they go back to their base camp of ambulance, drive away, patch themselves up, get ready for the next fight. Absolutely loved it. Another thing that I absolutely loved on a technicality standpoint in regards to the director is the kid who plays Sam. I don't know his name. The last thing I just saw him in was in Woman in the Window. That was another Netflix horror film where he turns out to be the killer. But and I don't know how old he is, 20-something. They didn't make him shave himself. Like they kept his natural body hair. He has chest hair, he has stomach. Like they let him keep his natural body hair. And it's important to note this because, and I've talked about this when in regards to Charlie McDermott in the middle, that it's neat seeing actors who have actual body hair allowed to keep said body hair. Doesn't matter the age point, because teenagers in high school going through puberty get hair. Most people have body hair. Some people shave it off. Some people have no hair. So it was very important to see the actual natural aspect of the actor being portrayed as the character, because the character is not ashamed of himself, is not trying to conform to anything, and he himself is just being Simon. So I thought that was really important to see. I wish I knew his name. I don't know his name, but that was a little technicality thing that I do appreciate. And what I always go back to is, like, all the guys in Riverdale, right, are always, anytime they're shirtless, they're always hairless. They're smooth shaven or waxed or, like, you know, oiled. Same thing with all the guys in Teen Wolf. Smooth shaven, waxed, oiled, right? There's no natural growth on these individuals playing teenagers, even though they're in their 20s. But that's my point. If you're a senior in high school and you're male, and, like, depending on your genetics, you could have body hair. So have body hair. Just a thing I noticed. About conformity and naturalism. Fear Street Part 1, 1994, absolutely incredible. I cannot wait to watch Fear Street Part 2. What is Fear Street Part 2? 1978? 1978. And Sadie Sink is the main character in this. And Sadie Sink plays our wonderful Max in Stranger Things. So we got Robin in Part 1. We get Max in Part 2. I have no idea what Part 3 is about. I can't wait to see what other Stranger Things alum we can look forward to. On to the next film. Mucho mahalo.